You've heard of unconditional love, but have you heard of the secret to unconditional happiness and allowing more into your life? More wealth, more success, and more love. More freedom in your life right now. Welcome to the Happy Bar with Israel Savage.
I really liked what you said about actors and artists, that we have this, we know what connection feels like, and that what being in the flow feels like, and like that constant looking for that. It is like I feel like it's a privilege that we have, because we need to do it. You know, it's not that we can sort of, I know everybody needs to do it, but for us it's like, so it's just so basic, and I really like that.
Yeah, and you go as far as you can, in your day. You plug in, you're tuned in, you're tapped in, and you go as far as you can, and then you have something that happens in your day, and it doesn't go, you're not in that good feeling place anymore, and that's okay. Because there's always another day, there's always another moment. It's all good information, and the kindest thing that we can do for ourselves and for other people is to just allow, is to say yes to whatever that moment is, and know it's the perfect thing. It's exactly what we needed. We can't stay in this. If you stay in this good feeling place all the time, what it means is you're not growing. You're not reaching beyond yourself. And so it's a necessary part of our own evolution to come up against things we don't like, to clarify what we do like. It's necessary. Otherwise, you would be stagnant. And you can't be, because that defies the laws of the universe. We're always expanding.
The one thing that stuck with me the most would be recognizing and changing practice thoughts. That's something that I'm kind of focusing on a lot. Because it's an easy concept, but it's not necessarily that easy to do. So yeah, that's a big one for me.
Great. And I want you to follow the better feeling thing for you, whatever that is. And nobody can tell you what that is. I wonder if it might feel a little easier and a little better to rather than focus on changing things, focus on the thoughts that you already have that are good feeling and watch them grow. Rather than, what do I have to change? What do I have to do better? I used to go from one self-help program to another, because I fundamentally believed there was something flawed or wrong with me. And so anybody who would tell me that there was something wrong with me, they're a genius, because they agree with me. There is something wrong with me. And so, let me read your book and do your practices. But what if you are just right? What if you don't have to change anything? What if you are worthy just where you are? What if you can focus on what you want more of and watch that grow? What if you don't even have to deal with the things that you don't want? What if? To me, that feels a little better, but you follow what feels best for you.
I liked what you said when I was asking about kind of getting up in front of people, about how fear is your best friend and living on the edge. And also just that's your art. So don't be afraid to get up there and try something out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's how you get better. When I was younger, there was a lot of bad things happening at home, and I was going through college and everything. And so it was hard to break away from what was happening at home while also trying to focus on myself and my own future. So that kind of helped with that too. Great.
And I do want to say that taking a step back and seeing that is so reassuring. I saw something happen on the street between a father and daughter and a mother. There was a 5-year-old, and the father's reaction to the daughter was not an optimal one. It made me feel a lot of things for this little girl. And so my physical self took action, and as I should have, and I felt good about taking the action that I did. But then it lingered with me, the worry for this child and what would happen to this child growing up in this environment. and then I had to take a step back and realize, this child has the benefit of contrast, just like we all do. She has the benefit of seeing two parents and seeing, wow, I love it when you do this, and I hate it when you do that. And it's creating desire for her. It's shaping and forming her next choice and next choice. None of it is wasted, right? None of this experience is wasted that we have. And so we don't want to save ourselves or other people from the contrast that they're experiencing and the things that don't feel good, because it clarifies in such a beautiful way. Listen, your mess becomes your mission. Here I am working with emotion because I've had some situations that have caused this to become a pearl for me, become an area of expertise for me. And I'm grateful for that. That clarity that came from experiencing what I don't want. So thank you for sharing that.
I think the thing that stuck with me the most was probably just taking responsibility for your own emotions and trying not to let other people's emotions affect yours, but to let yours brighten other people's. I think that's probably the biggest takeaway.
Great. I love that idea of focusing on your own emotions. I would just massage it out a little bit in that brightening someone else's day or their experience is not your responsibility either, right? They're responsible for their own emotions, just like you're responsible for yours. Now, it will be it will happen if they are at all open to it. But if they're not open to it, it won't. But in any case, again, we can't help a sick person become well by becoming sick ourselves, right? We can hold this spot for no other reason than it feels good to us to hold this spot, this emotional spot, and people will when they're in a moment of less resistance, they'll rise to meet us, but there'll be many times that they won't. And so I just wanted to massage that out, because we don't want to rob other people from learning that same lesson that of unconditional happiness, by becoming dependent on you for their happiness. We don't want to set up that cycle for them either. So great. Thank you for sharing that.
I'm really taking away that you can't get this wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I love that. There's so much reassurance in that. And that's a great mantra too, to have. If you liked what you just heard, then take inspired action now. That's right, act while you are feeling good. And build on your momentum. Schedule your free discovery call with me at instudios-nyc.com/happy bar.